あの夜も
Hello and welcome to the Otaku Podcast. Today we have the usual suspects, Daniel and myself, Jonathan.
The old two, as they call us.
The old two. That's
tubies.
what they call us. The tubies. They don't call us noobs. They call us tubes, so they only have to address us both at the same time.
You know, as far as when you say noob, you know how like the phrase, body count, how it can mean two different things.
Yeah.
It's like a sexual thing, but it's also just like killing people thing. I think we need to normalize body count in the anime world, as in how many animes you've watched.
Yeah, we need a third definition. We need to complicate the English language even more.
What's your uwu body count?
Yeah.
Something. It's like 300.
500.
So.
No, your area looks a little bit different. What happened?
Yeah, So when I moved my desk in here, because I made a custom desk for my office, I scratched up the walls pretty bad, and I've been putting off repainting. And so now's the time. I painted today, but I decided I'm going to actually paint maybe like a really light blue. Something a little different. So in the meantime, I have to have all my dolls with me on my desk.
Yeah. So it's a boy?
Yeah, my office is a boy.
This is a boy's room. You see the light blue? Get out of here.
Yeah. It's just because I went to the store and bought white matte paint, because that's the kind of paint that I have on the walls. And I went to the store, I said, I want white matte paint. He said, here you go. I take it back in here and I start painting. It's like off-white. And so as I'm touching up, I'm like, oh, this will dry fine. Nope, it's not drying fine. You see the splotches all over the wall. So now I'm like, now I have to paint the whole thing.
No.
So I'm like,
now I have to put on layers.
Layers and layers.
Well, I can't tell. It looks great to me. So.
Oh, good. I think in recording,
good job.
It'll be okay. So I think it'll be all right.
Nice. I'm looking forward to having your guys back up there.
Oh,
your figures.
It's gonna look good. I got an extra shelf. I got more stuff to put on it. You know what? Actually, hold on. Let me go get.
Intermission.
I'm back.
End of intermission.
That I got when I was in Vegas.
Yeah.
Being cool.
I definitely want to hear about what parties went on there.
Yeah, I think we'll have to have Tyler on at some point to also tell us his side of the story, but man, it was a good trip. A very cheap trip to Vegas. We spent the bare minimum. I think in one day we walked over 7 miles.
Yeah.
So essentially, for those who don't know, Tyler and I wanted to go to Vegas because at the Sphere in Vegas, they had the 25th anniversary of One Piece, where they had the One Piece art on the Sphere. Now, you can go on YouTube and watch a video, but I have a video myself that I took. I didn't have the best angle, but it was really cool to be there live because it's massive.
Cool.
And so it was a great time. We walked all the way from the Luxor all the way to the Sphere and back. And it was a long walk, and we were sore, but well worth it. That's why we went to Vegas.
Mhm.
But the secondary good purpose of going to Vegas was, as a lot of you guys know, they have an official One Piece cafe in Vegas, and that was really cool.
Was Sanji cooking your food?
You better have been. Sanji's a lot shorter, and there's a lot of him, and he has black hair now. But yes,
He's the other version of Sanji.
I still need to figure out how to create TikToks and shorts and make a little short of our trip to Vegas if I can figure that out, because it was pretty cool. We got a lot of great pictures. Now, I got two things, like souvenirs from the One Piece store. One of which is this bag. Let me make it look pretty.
So there's a store. There's a store like adjacent or
it's inside
along
the
with
cafe.
the cafe. Okay.
You basically can do all that. So here is,
Nice.
and it has the date. So spring summer 2024 collection, Las Vegas, the Straw Hat Crew, and down below it has all the names of the Straw Hats in hiragana and katakana.
Mhm.
So this was a bag I got there, mostly because I didn't want to get a shirt. They had some cool shirts, but instead I got this. Let's see if I can make it a good angle.
Zoro mugs.
The Zoro mug. And it has even a
Nice.
coaster with it as well. And it's not
That's
like a
sweet.
tiny mug either. It's actually pretty big. And
That
on the
looks
inside, I don't
big.
know if you can see it, but it has the Jolly Roger on the inside of the cup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was worth it. But it basically, you walk in and you are just like strangled with One Piece everything. Like the whole wall is covered with like full size bounty posters. Everything is like ship themed. You
That's
go
what I
basically
want.
in this big
To be
line.
strangled by One Piece characters. Just kidding.
Yes, depending which one. More than others.
Darkness.
But yeah, then you basically go in a line and order your food, which they had like actual food there. Like you could get like some of the dishes from One Piece and desserts. Like I got a Big Mom wedding party favor cake.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it was decorated like the cake in the show. And then Tyler got this seafood dish and mochi, and then I got like beef on a stick. Actually pretty nice.
Taggio's beef curry.
I don't think his was the beef curry. His was
there is beef skewers. There's just beef skewers.
Beef skewers. That's what I got.
Yeah.
And Tyler got the one that's like the Sea King something.
There is. Let me see. Oh, penne gorgonzola with Sea King.
Yeah.
Is that the one that has little chunks of like calamari?
I think so. Yeah, that's the one he got. And
Gotcha.
man, yeah, there's
Food looks. I mean, at least in the pictures that they have, food looks amazing.
It was amazing. They serve it to you a little Happy Meal-ish, though. I mean, it's cool, but they give it to you in kind of like little cardboard box trays, and it's cool because they're decorated like they're obviously like One Piece themed boxes. But the taste was really good. Like the beef skewers I got, because I wanted to have the cake too. I was like, I'll get beef skewers. Those are really good. So definitely go check it out while you're in Vegas. It looks so unassuming. Like like if you're standing outside the One Piece store,
Mm-hmm.
you'll never know you're by the One Piece store. It's like this gray brown building,
Oh.
and it doesn't even look like anything. And you go up to the door, and on the door it says One Piece store. Like, but then you open it, and it's like, boom, just like blast you.
Awesome. Well, I definitely have to go there the next time I'm in Vegas. So I'm glad that you yeah, I assume that you definitely recommend it
Oh yeah.
at this point. Okay.
Yeah, go check it out. I mean, here's the thing. If you live across the country and you're like, I'm going to pay several $100s just to go to the cafe, I recommend like planning a trip in Vegas. Like, go see some shows, go walk the strip, plan it to be a good time, but then go to the One Piece Cafe. If you, I, it was awesome and it's nice because I live so close. But if you don't, um, you got to kind of weigh the options of going to a cafe one time, paying a few $100s for plane tickets. But you're lucky that it's in Vegas and there's tons to do. So take advantage of this.
We'll take advantage of it. Yeah, it looks awesome. What else did you do in Vegas?
Honestly, it was a fast trip. We weren't even there
Okay.
for 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
We drove in on Wednesday. We got there and we were kind of tired from the drive, but we basically went to the hotel, dropped our stuff off, went over to the One Piece Cafe, and then we went back to the hotel and just kind of like chilled for a bit, and
Mm-hmm.
then we just hit the strip. We just walked the strip, a total 7+ miles. Just we saw some cool stuff. We walked around. We got just some cool pictures, and then we made it to the Sphere. We recorded that, and then walked back. And in total, that took several hours to do. And by the time we got back to the hotel, it was almost 11 o'clock at night. And so we basically
All right.
stopped after, got some food, and then woke up
Time
the
well
next
spent.
morning.
Very nice.
So
Well, I my week was not quite so fantastical, but I did some things like help my wife set up her studio.
I've seen the pictures. It's looking really good.
Yeah. I definitely cannot take all the credit or even most of the credit. I think I did like I basically did the things that required some basic level of handyman skills. Like I put up her backdrop holders, her backdrop system, which are separate, and TV. I helped her move around some furniture, and some curtains. But no, it's looking really good, and I like it, and she definitely likes it. So it's coming right along. Other than that, I just kind of did the regular stuff. I'm having I'm having a conundrum though,
Okay.
because I am collecting One Piece cards, as you know, and I have primarily tried to keep it to the Romance Dawn set, but I've also collected some other cards. Like I like the Yamato cards, and I like a few of the Boa Hancock cards, and some others. Like there's some pretty cool other cards from other sets that I'm like, oh, I got to get that, unfortunately, the one I really, really want to get that hasn't been released yet, but it's going to be released probably in the next week. Is a manga card, a Boa Hancock manga card. Have you seen how much those manga cards are? Like, and how like they are insanely rare.
Yeah.
Like I've watched people open up the packs, and so I've watched like 10 people open up the 24 pack boxes, right?
Uh-huh.
None of them have gotten a manga card.
Oof.
So
Man.
you know that's gonna be a pretty penny, and I'm like, oh,
That's gonna be
I want to get it,
a lot of
but
money,
I
very rare.
don't know about that.
As
So,
a Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic and now One Piece card collector myself, those prices get insane.
yeah.
And they either regulate and go down as more get pulled, or they just stay going up and up
Stay that
forever.
way forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to be largely how the One Piece cards are. At least, well, that's not entirely true. Like the ones that are rare, like the rarest, they just keep going up. Some of them fluctuate. Some of them just go up and then they go down and then they taper out. It does depend. The one thing that has been consistent though is like those manga cards. They're always up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And historically, they will remain up there until they're reprinted. That's one thing that Magic uses to get their cost of like individual cards down is they'll either ban it or
yeah,
they'll just print more at another set, and so it basically
yeah.
devalues it, and so more people can get it. And
That's the thing
so,
that's frustrating me right now is they are reprinting the Romance Dawn set.
hey,
So
that's I mean that's a good thing if you're just collecting it, but if you're collecting for value, it's not a good thing.
well, I was kind of trying both to some extent, just because. I mean, and something I mean, I'm not like this avid huge card collector or anything, but something I didn't know before is there are cards that are, I'm probably going to say this wrong, eroded. Basically it's when they reprint them, and they change the words in the in, like on the move set or whatever, or the description. So like basically it's any of the words on the card, they change them and it's called eroded.
Which makes
But
the
obviously
original
that
much more
devalues
rare.
it. Yeah, the original, yeah, so much more rare. And I found out that I had gotten a card that was post errata, and I'm like, come on, dang it. I like just missed it, and I didn't even realize I was getting a post errata card. But anyway, I mean the cards themselves I'm happy with, and I enjoy collecting regardless. And yeah, a large part of me is just collecting that Romance Dawn set because that's just interesting and fun and something I want to do. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
That's cool.
Other than that, I've watched a bunch of anime, of course. Continued watching Konosuba. You haven't watched any of that yet, right?
Nope.
So I'll just say it's kind of weird. It's almost as if they have two mini seasons in one season.
Are they like mini seasons?
So kind of. So it's like they have one season that they're like kind of focusing on one thing, which is like this adventure relationship with the princess. And then the second half is more relative to a situation going on with darkness. So it's kind of cool. I don't mind it. It was just kind of unexpected. I was like, oh, they're kind of done with that part. Now they're moving on to this other part.
Yeah. Well,
and so
as long as they stay true to the humorous aspect of it and don't try to make it too serious, then I think they'll be fine.
Oh yeah, they definitely stayed true, and I'm not disappointed with it at all. I also caught up on obviously Kaiju number 8. They're getting to a really interesting part of the story, where I don't know. It's he meets the commander in chief, the Kaiju guy meets the commander in chief and has to deal with him and kind of prove that he's not just a crazy kaiju, right? So
sounds a little Attack on Titan-y.
Yeah. I think it's certainly not as drawn out, like dragged and drawn out. But I think they're a lot more to the point. And I like that. I like it's pretty straightforward season. So, and then Demon Slayer's getting to the meat and potatoes. I think that they made a part that could have been really boring, not boring at all. It's very funny and interesting, and it holds your interest. And now it's getting to the part that's like very actiony. So good stuff.
Nice. No, that's good. We'll get to those in time. We will.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited to watch all of those.
Yeah. Did you watch? Was it God's Blessing? What is it called? The one you've been watching.
Oh, Dungeon Meshi.
Oh, you're watching Dungeon. Okay.
I finished all of Dungeon Meshi, and I like that. I thought the last episode was good, but really not as fun.
Yeah.
So watch that. It's good.
Heard.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I initially I was just kind of put off by it because I was like, oh, they're just making food in a dungeon, and they are adventurers. But I didn't know anything else that happened with it. But I've started getting a lot of recommendations that it's really good, and I should watch it.
It's very good, and it's not an isekai. I mean, it's
change of pace.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think the characters are fun. They take a little bit to get used to, but once you're used to them, man, it's an entertaining show, and it's not, there's no OP character. There's no, like, the stereotypes are kind of all out.
Mm-hmm.
I do recommend it. I really do. I mean, it's got a decent helping of action, but it's not centered around action. It's centered around surviving, especially when you can't bring enough food to get through a dungeon. How do you survive? Well, you eat monsters.
Yes.
And so
and then you become the monster.
You become monsters. So we finished that. Tyler was like adamant that I get that watched, and so Sarah and I sat down and we binged it, which was good timing because we had just finished the founder of Diabolism. That's an excellent show. I recommend it. It's a Chinese show, but I recommend it. It's really good. Um, I've been just really into those, the cultivation stories. Uh, awesome. The show that we're watching right now is another cultivation show. It's actually called Cultivation. I have refined key for 3,000 years.
Wow. Is
It's
that
a it's
also based off of a Donghua, or is it
Yeah, I think it's like a light novel series. Um,
okay?
it's basically so in Chinese culture, I'm going to butcher it. Sorry, but essentially, you have different phases of cultivation. You do. You have your refining stage, and then you have like your golden pill phase, and you go up to eventually you become like enlightened. And there's this guy who's been at the key refining or chi refining stage for 3,000 years, and he cannot move on. Like he's struggling to move on. Um, and he keeps eating these pills. Every 50 years he eats one, which gives him 50 more years. So like essentially death keeps coming for him and tries to drag him
He's
down
like,
to
ha,
hell. Then he keeps
nope,
eating
I
a
have
pill.
pills.
Yeah, basically. And so it's entertaining because the guy is wildly OP, but he can't do some of the things that everyone else can. But he's the strongest human in the world. But he just can't.
Mm.
He refuses to die and move on without mastering cultivation.
Oh,
And so
okay, interesting.
it's funny. It's entertaining. I like the characters so far. The story seems fun. The intro the intro is really good. Like the music. I'll have to show you the song sometime, but the intro song is really good for the show. It's actually got me more interested because of it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much
Okay,
what we've been watching is lots of Chinese shows, and we finished Dungeon
wait,
Meshi.
is this? You said it's called Cultivation, and it is animated.
Yeah, it's an animated. It's called Cultivation. I have refined key for 3,000 years,
Okay,
or maybe it's just key refining for 3,000 years. Let me look. Yeah, yeah. So, anyways, it's good. I recommend it. It's pretty short, so it seems, but
what is it on?
Netflix.
Is it on? It is on Netflix. Okay, cool. I'll check it out. Um, sounds interesting. Well, I think we had to keep this one a little bit short, but thanks for jumping on. Sorry to
Hold on
everyone that
one
we're keeping
second,
this short,
though.
but oh, you got one more thing? Okay,
1 second.
sorry.
I will end it with this. You know what's better, Jonathan, than one
Oh my god.
Hisoka?
You have two of
Two.
those? How did you end up with two of them? You had none of them.
I had none. Now I have two.
Oh my
I
gosh.
will
Did you
briefly
get
say we went to Burlington Coat Factory
Oh my gosh.
and we were getting the swimming suits for the kids. And we
Yep.
were walking by and we saw two Hisoka figures for 12
Uh-huh.
bucks each.
Yep.
And they're actually pretty good quality. So Sarah was like, I want one. I'm like, I want one. So now we both
Oh,
have a
nice.
Hisoka. Anyways,
You
I
know what
had to
else you
show you.
have? You have one more thing. I have no idea if you want it. If you don't want it, I'll get you something else. But I was like, I wonder if Daniel likes cat girls.
Who doesn't like cat girls?
Alright, hold on. Oh, wrong way.
I'm so excited.
This guy.
Oh, that's sick. What's that from?
I don't know.
It just looks
I-
good.
My wife did that it was like a FanX convention type of thing. And the people next to them were selling art, obviously, and I looked around and saw the different art pieces that everyone had, and I felt like they had better art than the rest of them. So
No, that's sick.
I grabbed a couple things. Yeah.
Well,
I was planning on getting a frame for it first, but yeah.
well, as you see, I have
Next time you're around.
Plate. I can put it somewhere. So no, that's cool, man. Thanks. That is awesome. Who doesn't love cat girls? Of course. Cat
Yeah.
girls. I mean, not speaking of cat girls, but speaking of animal girls, I do have a big desire to get a really cool Raphtalia figure like your brother has. So
I need to jump on that as well. I mean there's a couple that are really good. I like the one that my brother has for sure.
So one day I'll get there. I do want a Philo, Raphtalia, and Alphamy figure, but we'll see. But no, thanks. I loved it. I do.
Welcome. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
涙の色はエメラルドブルー宝石みたいに光ってる流れ星を見上げていたあの夜も